You know what?
Oh, baby bird.
It's highly possible that the Lakers and the Clippers will be watching the Western Conference Finals instead of playing in the Western Conference Finals.
If it left up the old baby bird, they come back.
Baby bird.
Baby bird.
Wait, he sat in the nest for half the game. I don't know what he was doing.
He already done his damage. He already done his damage.
I'm about to do some right now.
Okay, we're going to get to the Clippers' loss last night. But first, I want to talk about LeBron, who we will see back in action today. Of course, Blazers, Lakers, Game 2 tips off tonight. Chris Haynes was able to sit down with LeBron and follow up on the Kings' earlier comments about things going on behind the scenes that he didn't want to talk about. LeBron said it wasn't for lack of team chemistry, but said, quote, "It is a little bit more intricate than that. I might tell you when the cameras ain't on." Shannon, what do you make of this quote?
I'm not even sure what he means by that quote, Skip, but no one wants to hear it because every person in the bubble is under a unique circumstance. Everybody that's in the bubble is not accustomed in a professional career of playing without fans. So, Skip, no one wants to hear why you guys haven't played well, why you haven't shot the ball well, why you haven't looked like the Lakers that gained the number 1 seed in the West. All they want to hear is what are you going to do to fix the problem? That's it. That's it. Because, Skip, people don't want to hear excuses at this time of the year. I mean, because if you're going to say there's something intricate going on, you're going to have to expand on that. You're going to have to expound on that and let the people know what exactly is going on. Because
it doesn't affect the team,
right.
But it's still operating behind the scenes.
Exactly. So people like, man, what's going on? That's why the Lakers, nah. Skip, you know what? I used to be in the excuse business, but I opened up me a new shop, Club Shay Shay. Yeah, that what used to be excuses.
Really?
But people kept coming in and they want all different type of excuses, and I couldn't meet their demand, so I closed up shop and I just serve hot ales now. Your Cowboys look. Cowboys got a private table in there. But Skip,
we won 8 games.
Okay.
We also lost 8.
Exactly. I expect the Lakers, I expect LeBron to play better tonight than what they played on Tuesday night.
I hope so.
I expect them to play better tonight than to get back to playing like they did against the Clippers, like they played against Utah. That's the Lakers I expect to see. I also expect them to hit a few more shots because if they can hit a few more shots, the lane is going to open up someone. The guys are not going to go out there and try and challenge them if they can't make shots. Why? Why would I go out there when you hitting the backside of the backboard and you clinging it up the rim? Anthony Davis is going to have to give us a complete ball game. Skip, we've seen him play great for a quarter. We've seen him play great for a half. But we have yet to see AD put that thing together for the entirety of a ball game. Now, we're going to talk about that. He said his job is to make LeBron James' job easier. Well, he didn't make it easier on Tuesday night. I expect him to play better. But, Skip, I'm going to be honest. Nobody wants to hear that there's something operating in the shadows that may or may not be affecting the Lakers. No one wants to hear that. You're the number 1 seed in the West. You have 2 of the top 5, top 6 players in the NBA. People expect results, winning results, not excuse making.
Thank you for being mildly objective about your man, LeBron James.
Mildly.
I'm going to take it about 3 levels deeper.
Okay.
Here we go again. This isn't the first time, and I don't think it's going to be the last time. Drama King strikes again. This is vintage playoff LeBron James. This is why, I'm going to say it one more time, it is blasphemy to even begin to compare LeBron to Michael Jordan. This is why it is ludicrous to even begin to make a case that he's better than Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan would never, ever have done this, especially at playoff time. This is even worse than making an excuse. To me, this is actually planting the seeds of an excuse just in case. If it goes south in the bubble, well, it was the bubble's fault. We had an internal issue. What was it? I'll tell you later. No, tell us now.
Right.
You brought it up.
You brought it up.
Yes.
You brought it to our attention.
Okay.
We didn't even know what was going on.
Let's be clear about it. Chris Haynes didn't report this, or it wasn't reported by Dave McManaman at ESPN.com.
Brian Windhorst.
Or Brian Windhorst or any of those great reporters. It wasn't reported. It was volunteered last week by LeBron in a big media session. We got an issue going on behind the scenes. Doesn't affect the ball club at all, but Well, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
If it affects you, it affects them.
Right.
You are obviously the face of the franchise. You are obviously the leader of the team. And you are quite obviously the best player on this basketball team that is the #1 seed and in some betting houses, the favorite to win it all.
Right.
So if you just casually drop that, we got a intricate problem. Intricate's a pretty serious word, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means it's very complicated. It's very difficult to solve this problem. But it doesn't affect the team. Okay, what is it, LeBron? Why would you even bring it up? Right. I ask you, Shannon Sharpe, what earthly good at this point in the season, with you favored to win a championship, what earthly good does it do to even raise this issue at this point, unless you just want to plant the seed, a big old seed, like a Johnny Appleseed seed of an excuse, a Jack and the Beanstalk excuse that could sprout and grow into this giant beanstalk just in case it goes south and your billions of blind witnesses out there will say, well, he told us so. He warned us it was coming. So obviously whatever was going on behind the scenes affected what was going on in front of the camera.
Skip, I honestly believe that this time there will be no excuses made. Either you do or you didn't.
Okay, but he's trying.
Skip, I don't know what he's trying to do because I don't know what good he possibly think could come of this. Because when you broach a subject, if you're not willing to expand on the subject, people are just looking at you like, huh? Why would you even bring that if you're not going to explain it?
Okay, so I drive home the point once again. It's the same point I've made for, let's see, he's played 17 years.
17.
I probably made this the last 12 years on national TV. He is definitely the GOAT of blame deflection, of excuse planting, because it's always something going on where just in case it goes wrong, he can say, well, I have an out. Shannon Sharpe says you're the GOAT. Shannon Sharpe says you're the best player on the planet. You don't need blame deflection. Just take it, own it, and beat it. Just do it. That's all I care about. I don't need to hear this going in. And here's the problem. When you're the leader and the tone setter for this franchise, what have the Lakers, that they haven't led the league in any other category but except one, bubble complaints. This team leads the league in bubble complaints. Every time I open up my computer, they're complaining about something else inside the bubble.
Right.
What did LeBron say just the other day? This is going to be my toughest road to the finals. It's because of the bubble. It's because we're away from our family. Well, obviously, the Lakers aren't the only team playing in the bubble. They're all playing in the bubble.
Yes.
22 started in the bubble. And here we go. And so you're all up against it. There's some good things about the bubble: camaraderie, unity, togetherness, AAU feel, college feel. That's all good. But the rest of it, you got to make some sacrifices to go win a championship. But it'll be over before you know it. And you actually have the greatest break of your career, I keep saying, because you did get a break, 5 months off at age 35, end of year 17, having played the third most minutes in the history of this league. You got a big break because your body should be fresh to make this sprint to the finish here at the end of this punctuated regular season. So to me, there's nothing to complain about. Yet Anthony Davis, Danny Green, every time I open up my computer, somebody else is complaining about it's tough in there without any fans. And then Danny Green was talking about how weird it is to have those virtual fans, as if they sort of distract you more than they help you. Okay.
They must be sitting on top of the basket knocking the ball out because he sure ain't touched that.
All right, I got it. And they're all talking about how dark it is around the edges of the court. I got it.
It's dark for everybody.
Okay, I got it. So the shooting background is very different. Yet this team can't throw it in the lake that's in the middle of their hotels.
Well, maybe go to shoot around and get your eyes adjusted.
Okay, so thank you for bringing that up. We heard 2 weeks ago that LeBron and Anthony Davis has decided they're above going to shoot around. So they're the only team I've ever heard of. They canceled their own shoot around. The two best players said, we won't go. And I told you yesterday, maybe you need to go today just to change your luck, maybe?
Yes.
Just to feel like you did something different. where you shot around. You actually, everybody tried shooting threes for about, those things last like half hour, maybe 45 minutes.
Right.
Some people, some of the players stay after practice with the coaches and shoot, shooting coaches, get somebody to rebound for you. Maybe you get up 100 shots.
Well, whatever time it is, they need to get there 30, 40 minutes early.
Okay.
They get up shots before they actually shoot around.
All
and then shoot around and then stay late.
So what's weird to me is they're all complaining about how different the shooting background is. They are dead last in all the shooting categories in the bubble after the restart. And yet every day I turn on my TV, I see Donovan Mitchell just shooting the lights out.
Yeah.
I saw the Mavericks last night shoot the lights out on the Clippers. Everything they
Jason
threw
Tatum
up.
may have no problems with it.
I think he's not. And it almost seems like guys are actually shooting better. We've seen Austin Rivers score 41 out of nowhere. It almost seems like these arenas, these shooting backgrounds are advantageous for everybody except this team.
Right.
Well, if your leader plants too many excuses in your head, like, this is no good, then everybody starts thinking, this is no good. And they feel like the door is open to tell the media, this is no good.
Well, Skip, in order for me to believe that there's something drastically going on with the shooting background, I would need Steph Curry and Klay Thompson in that bubble. And I would need them to shoot 20%.
Okay.
And then I would say, Skip, you know what, there might be something. Because you're talking about two of the greatest shooters. But it wasn't like before they got to the bubble, the Lakers were shooting three-pointers like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to begin with.
Right.
You've just gotten worse than what you were. And that was pretty bad.
Okay.
Let's be real. Let's be honest with it.
Very real about it. And by the way, I buried the lead in this one. Damian Lillard doesn't have any problem with the shooting background.
Yeah, he's shooting from 40 feet.
Okay, he's shooting from 40 feet. And all of a sudden, Gary Trent Jr. has turned into somebody we've never seen before. Well, he seems to be okay with it.
Exactly.
Everybody's okay with it except the Lakers. Okay, so now I got to drive this home. The other night, despite all the off the edge of the backboard shots, despite all the missed shots, I'm going to remind everybody one more time. With 7 minutes left in game one against Portland on a neutral floor, they're up 6 points.
Yeah.
And they have the ball in LeBron's hands at that point. So you tell me, should you not bring that home? Should it not be home, James? Yes, you should bring that home. So I get everything you're saying about 5 for 32. I get all of the above. I get all the problems. But despite all that, despite all the missed shots up to that point, your team was ahead by 6 points with 7 minutes left, and LeBron James is dribbling the ball up the court. Now, Dwight got a stupid, silly Dwight Howard Memorial offensive foul.
Yes.
And that started, that flipped the script.
It did.
But from that point on, I'm going to remind everybody, your man, LeBron James, at the 4-minute mark, it's about 4.5 minutes left. First, his co-star goes to the free throw line and missed 2. But then LeBron goes right back to the free throw line on the next possession, and he needs to cancel that.
Right.
He had canceled earlier in the quarter the first Dame 3, right? And that was great.
Yes.
That was great. But now it's money time. Now you need to at least make the first free throw, make your team feel a little better. We're okay because Anthony shot 2 to tie. Well, if he had made his 2, then you would have been shooting 2 to go ahead by 2, except you're shooting 2 to tie, and you missed both of them.
Yes.
Cannot do it at that point. That was 4:24. Then he drives at 3:22 with the game tied. And again, Hassan got there. There's long arm of the law and all that. So he tries to throw it up a little higher off the glass, and he misses it. For whatever reason, maybe you credit Whiteside more than you blame LeBron, but he did not cash a driving layup shot that would have put them up 2. That was a game tied to go up 2, and that's 3:22 left. And then he did get a tip shot layup where he just got a hand up on a tipped offensive rebound and tipped it off the glass and it went in. That was good. That cut it to 4. So you're still hanging on at 212. But then can we see what happened? Because this shot didn't get enough attention. With 30 seconds left, LeBron has a 3 to cut it to 2. Well, this is dicey now. This is going to be a game. This is LeBron. This is to cut it to 2, and it's wide open. It's wide open, and he missed it wide left. Here we go again. Great pick. Is that Anthony?
Yeah, that's AD.
Okay. AD hammer shot pick. And LeBron's got a wide open 3. If you make that, It's a 2-point game with 30 seconds left. You got a chance.
Well, you just said there wasn't no pressure on him. That's why he made it anyway, because you're down by 5. So it doesn't. No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking.
Okay, but again, that cuts the lead to 2 right there.
Yes.
So if you get a stop, if you don't foul, I don't know, if you get the ball back, maybe you're shooting for the win.
Skip, they weren't getting stops. The Blazers went on a 19-6 run.
Okay, and that's what ended it. From that 7-minute mark home, it was 19-6 Trailblazers. Well, who deserves the most blame? Well, obviously, what do I call Anthony Davis in the fourth quarter? AD stands for all done. And the other night, he was all done. Yes. He did nothing in the fourth quarter. What did he do? 1 of 3?
Yep.
So he scored 2 points. And he didn't get to the free throw line except the one time, and he missed both of those.
Right.
And he's been a free throw making machine except when it counts. Okay, does LeBron deserve, should he have sort of welcomed and accepted some blame after the game?
Yeah,
Said,
absolutely.
I owe my team because I should have gotten that one home? Yes, he should have.
Both of those got to share equal responsibility. Yes, we want guys to make shots, but these 2 guys have to take ownership of this team. They're only going to go as far as these 2 guys carry them. Yes, you want to have some add-ins, guys make some timely shots, but I'm mainly counting on AD and LeBron to dominate. In anything we get outside of them dominating, the Lakers will gladly accept. But there's some intricacies going on behind the scene. Sounds like an excuse.
Good.
And the Lakers are too good. The players that they have, especially at the top, are too good to sow these seeds that there's something going on, and there's a reason why they've struggled since they've been in the bubble. I don't want to hear that. Okay. Nobody wants to hear that.
All right. And nobody often wants to hear this in playoffs, but I've been covering NBA playoffs since the 70s. And you know and I know how quickly the momentum can swing.
Yes.
Where you watch game 1 and you say, that team's done.
Right.
And then that team, see Utah Jazz yesterday, come out after a close game in game 1, a shootout that they lost. They really just upchucked it into overtime. And,
Donovan Mitchell, an 8-second violation.
Yeah, he did that. And then he got outshot in overtime badly by Jamal Murray. But last night, look what Utah did. They annihilated Denver, and all of a sudden you're thinking, gee, is maybe Utah the dark horse team to get to the finals this year? Who knows? But you overreact both ways.
Right.
I am with your gut feeling right now. I expect the Lakers to reassert their dominance tonight because they're better than Portland. You know it, and I know it.
Right.
But it starts with these 2. It starts with number 1, LeBron, and number 2, all done. He cannot be all done tonight. And if they will come out in the first quarter and impose their superior will on Damian and CJ especially, you got to start with those 2, then you should be off to the races. You should win this game by 10 or 15 points to me. Portland should score 100, but you should score 115 or 20. You should score 120 against this team. It's the worst defensive team in the bubble.
Yeah.
Okay?
With the two of the top 5, 2 of the top 6 players, and you got 30 below what they normally allow in the bubble. That's what you got. I mean, Memphis was getting in the 120s against this team.
Yep.
Lakers are better than this. And I think the thing is, what you have to be careful of, Skip, is that the opposing team sees that there is an opportunity.
Yep.
And they sense blood in the water. And so now they start like, okay, now we got them. You see this? They're starting to make excuses. Let's go for the kill.
I agree. This is a free shot for the Portland Trail
Absolutely.
Blazers. The pressure is all on your guys. But it should be, and it's not like LeBron hadn't had pressure on him before in playoff games. See Game 7 that year, or I should say Game 6 against Boston. Okay. We've seen him bounce back and say, watch this. Well, tonight is a watch this, because if you lose it, I'm not saying you're going to lose the series, but you're going to be in big trouble.
You have a daunting task.
Yep.
You will have a daunting task if you go down 0-2 to this team. And because this team they believe. Skip, in the bubble, what we're seeing in the bubble is that teams that are 1-8, 2-7, you're like, that's an afterthought. But because they're in the bubble, because there is no home field, home court, team actually really believe they got a realistic chance of getting to the final, Skip, and winning. That's what the bubble has allowed teams to do, to believe that they have a realistic chance. Where in years past, Skip, I ain't hear no 8 seed talking about, I ain't hear no 8 seed, no 7 seeds talking about getting to no NBA finals. But they believe because this is a unique circumstance.
Yep.
And the Lakers need to be careful now.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.